mics on. The mics are on.
Okay, we gotta be serious now.
Okay.
Serious time.
It is serious time. Hi, Travis. How's it going?
Hi, Tom Graff. How are you doing there?
I don't know. It's
I said it's serious time, and Siri just like came up on all my stuff. Of course. How are you doing this evening?
great. Great.
Yeah.
Don't have to go into
Y'all-
work tomorrow. Woo, woo, woo.
Right?
Yep.
You all fired up? You ready to win a world championship?
Oh,
yeah.
It's in the bag. I mean, if nobody else has to show up. Zollers, the Lefkoffs don't have to come. Keith, no need. You don't even show up.
So
you
saw the
I'm
INDISC
winning
bank.
this year. Yeah.
You saw the INDISC bank, and you were like, "Holy cow! America's Most Haunted. I have this in the bag."
Might have a chance this year.
Didn't you own one of those? You had
I
one.
did.
Right?
I did.
Amazing. That is amazing.
I actually know how to play that game. Now the other 20, I don't, but uh-oh, Sterling's dad and Sterling are coming, so that could be
Nice.
an issue for me.
Is that your guys' first INDISC, I assume? I'm asking Sterling's dad, by the way.
Yes.
I know, Tom, this isn't your first one. We've gone to many INDISC. I feel like we're INDISC vets by now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my first one was like the last time at the Pinball Museum, which was that your first?
2019.
Yeah.
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 I wanted to go in 2018, but ended up not being able to go then. So then 2019, and then I went in 2020, and then I skipped 2021 for obvious reasons. But
there
yeah.
was
and
no.
then were we there? Yeah, 2022 we went there, and we played in a finals together. That was the year, right?
Yes.
Where we did Classics finals. Okay.
Yep, with
can
Byers
remember.
and DJ
Yep.
Real.
I remember now. All right, Penn
That's
Maiden
awesome.
wants to know how Wisconsin States went. Tom, you want to let him know?
Okay. Wisconsin States went it went really well. I made it past my first round. I played Joe DeClean. He was actually up 2-0 on me, and then I came back 4-2. And then I had to play Cassidy.
And how did that go?
And I lost. So
So
she got me back from last year, because last year we went to a game 7, and I took her out last year. And then so this year she was like, I got you, USOB. And she totally did. But I kind of screwed up. So our first game, so I picked Batman Dark Knight, Radical, and Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And she picked Jaws, Funhouse, and Indiana Jones. So Neil, I see Neil Graff.
Williams, Indiana Jones, not Stern.
The Williams, yeah. So
Okay.
that was the mid. So we played we played my pick, which I was the higher seed. So we played Batman Dark Knight, and I won that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played shit. Then we played Funhouse. She won Funhouse. And then we played, I think Indiana Jones was next. No, wait, it would have been my pick. This is not going well. So
let's go by that. Which
okay,
games
fine.
did you win?
I won Batman Dark Knight and Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Which
so
was
you won
Cassidy.
2.
I won 2. I won
Yeah.
2. But it got to we were tied 2-2, and it got oh yeah, she beat me on Radical. She put up 14 million on Radical. I put up 10 million. So
That sounded like a hell of a game then.
Yep. And then Turtles. Now Turtles was the biggest shit show I've ever seen in my life. Like I started we both played kind of terrible on it, but I started both multi-balls, didn't hit any jackpots. I started a mode or an episode. I didn't do anything in it. Like it was just like It was like all the pinball went out the window, and like I think I
The
put up
the
2.5
internal
million or
out.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens.
It,
Did you see what ZMAC and Raymond did on Turtles
no,
in
no.
finals of
I'm
Illinois?
sure it was
Oh,
like
God.
100 million or something.
Well, I tuned in. I saw Raymond had like 55 or 57 million. I'm like, he's doing awesome. He's doing fine. And he still like looked like he kind of had like a like crap face, like, oh, what the hell just happened? And then I stood up closer to my TV screen and I looked at what ZMAC's score was. It's like 147 million.
Oh
I'm just
my
like, oh, okay.
God.
That's why. Got it.
Holy cow.
All right, so catching up with the chat here real quick. What does I say?
Yeah.
Electric Skater. This is going to be my first INDISC. Super excited.
Nice.
Awesome. I remember my first INDISC. That's like you get nerves if it's your first one because there's so many great players there, and every game truly matters since it's a card format. So if you mess up one game, you're like totally screwed. What
True.
can you do? All right, looks like your kids in the chat too.
Yes.
Travis, how did Oklahoma go? Heard they had one competitor. I think Trent Augustine actually won it, and Invader
He did.
came in and destroyed. So he will represent Oklahoma. Let's see who else we got. So what's that say? Niche Two Pats wants to know: do you have to pick all of your games before you start, or do you pick after each match? I think they're talking about state.
Yeah, you have to pick all your games before you start. So it used to be the old way you would do it. See, I kind of like the old way where they didn't have eras. Basically it was loser picks. So the when you started, the high seed would pick either if they wanted their game or position. You'd play the game, and then whoever lost got the pick. I kind of liked that better. Actually, the funny thing was I totally forgot I picked Turtles, and I was fine with the pick, but for some reason in my head, I was between that and Munsters. And when I looked at the sheet, I'm like, great, we're going to Munsters. I'm going to win this. Now, I probably would have still lost, but I was just like, shit, I picked Turtles. Like, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember.
How can you beat the kids if you don't remember your picks, Tom?
Because I'm old. I'm an old man, Travis. Because I was between the two picks. And then I remembered Cassidy was practicing, and she had like a terrible practice game on Turtles. And I put up like 10 million. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick Turtles. But then
So you picked it according to your opponent.
Yes, which is a mistake.
Oh.
Which is a mistake. And that's why I lost state.
It happens. What can you do? All right, so let's see here. Slap Save Kid Christo, how you doing there? Is this the Double Train podcast now? Well, this is just us two knuckleheads hanging out. We could have used Joel. Don't tell him we said this, but we probably could have used him before we started because we need somebody to like set everything up for us, and we just show up and we just chill. So that's kind of the secret to the Triple Drain Pinball podcast.
It's true.
So let's see. Mike says that this will be his first INDISC as well. Very awesome. And African Pinball says that he is not your kid, Tom. I didn't realize that you claimed African Pinball as your child also. How many kids you got out there? The great Tom Graff. Doesn't he know how many kids he has out in the world right now?
I don't even know. There's so many.
Spreading that seed. Yeah. What can you do? But so it's definitely it's state tournaments. It's interesting to me because I didn't know how I would like the old mid-new, and before I started doing it, at nationals first, it made sense, and then come state, I didn't know if I would like it or not, and it turns out I think it's pretty cool myself. I think it makes sense, but at the same time, there's like it puts situations in there in which, depending on where the tournament's at or where it's being held at, according to the location, there may be some effery afoot, like certain games being considered old that you're like, how is this happening? Or, certain like modern games that you would think are new are actually placed in the mid. So, we've seen that time and time again. I know like even, I think even Interium, for instance, I think Andy had placed AC/DC as a mid. But then Tron was a new, and I thought maybe I'm off. I thought Tron came out before AC/DC, but I can't remember. I could be wrong. But that's just one example, though. I know the same thing happened in
Oh,
Oklahoma, to where we had like last year, Beatles was considered an old, I think. And it's just I think that, but that's just a result. I think just location dependent as well, because you got to work with what you have. So that's
true,
just how it goes.
true.
What can you do?
From
Let's see.
from your home collections, game you love, game you hate. I don't really hate any of my games at home though.
Um, I can answer
Maybe
that.
Jaws because Cassidy beat the crap out of me on it.
Right. I like Iron Maiden back there. Like I'm on a big Iron Maiden. I'm
Yep.
actually on a huge Jurassic Park kick. I'm trying to get to Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. So you've been part of those chats, Tom, when I'm
Yes.
talking to Carl
Yep.
about like his perfect run that he has on YouTube. I've been trying to do that. Freaking impossible. I don't know. And he did it live.
It's Carl.
I don't know.
I mean, it's Carl.
He's an alien.
I'm
I
looking forward to
swear.
seeing Carl
Yeah,
in the
he's a good
flesh.
dude. He's a good dude. Let's see here. What else is the chat saying? Sterling's dad, Beatles, Pulp, TNA. I always see not in the same categories at places. Yes. Yep, that's a big one. And I think also last year or 2 years ago, I remember somebody put Stern Star Wars in mid. Also, I distinctly remember that. I forgot what
Weird.
state. Yeah. Yeah. That was a little odd. But I know, like, even when I was at Oklahoma State 2 years ago, I was able to play Jurassic Park, Attack from Mars, and Beatles like every single round. So
Beatles was like an old.
Beatles, yeah, that was considered the old. And I know that game like the back of my hand, so it's basically like a near freebie, nearly, because we were playing extra balls also, which made it a little bit easier as well. So that's just it took the very, I guess, the volatility out of it, having that type of modern in the old category.
Preston, thanks for the resub. Yeah, I don't necessarily know how many locations could like sustain that old mid new, but
It's tough.
it is. Like District
'Cause you gotta-
82 would be really easy to have that sort of thing, but
Well, didn't they hosted women's state this year, right?
yes,
Okay.
which
And
Cassidy won.
Cassidy won that?
Yep.
I mean, I'm just shocked.
She took
No, but-
it was her and
Who was
Rachel in
second?
the finals.
Okay,
Rachel
yeah.
Rachel Risto.
That sounds about right. And I remember there's another player up there that's pretty good. Becky, I think, is their first name.
Becky Meyer.
Okay.
And Dory's
Yes, that's
really
what I'm
good
thinking
too.
Yeah. Yep.
So they were
Exactly.
all in the final four.
Yep. Let's see. Gorilla Pinball. You could have some local bozos bring some classics. Yes, you can do that as well. Gorilla Pinball did that for us at the Pinball Company here in St. Louis, technically Chesterfield, but St. Louis, Missouri. So we thank them for that. And they streamed for us the whole entire time, which was awesome. We had some crazy games, Tom, at ours. Like Adam
I bet.
McKinney. Yeah, Adam McKinney played John Miller. They went to 7 games, and he had a ball.
I'm gonna do
for
my
the
Adam
ages.
McKinney.
Throw your shoe, yeah. he had a ball 3 for the ages to come back, and it was now that being said, spoilers. If you don't want to know what happened at any of these states, definitely don't watch us two bozos here right now. Yeah, because we'll go over everything. But he was down like 600 million on his ball 3
On what
player
game?
2. Demolition Man. I think he had 2 dangers early on, and that was not an easy playing Demo Man either. Like we're talking half ramps. If you don't just crush the left ramp, it would just drain right down the middle.
Oh,
and +2, it was. I wouldn't say it was playing mean, but it was playing weird. Like to me, it's playing weird. We own the game. Like that's my company's game. It just plays weird to me. Like I never could get a handle on it, but. Yeah, he ended up just grinding it all the way back, and he ended up winning on the bonus countdown, which was incredible. And then the very next day, Carrie Wing basically did the same thing, but this time on World Cup Soccer. It was Game 7 of finals, and she had to come all the way back to win that on the final ball. So,
wow.
it was really cool. Really cool.
One of the states, a mother's son won women's and open. Interesting.
That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I need to find out who all won. I kind of know, but I'm not really up to date on everything. Like I heard Jared won Michigan. I remember seeing
Yes.
that. I watched Z-Mac just steamroll Illinois. Like I think he went 16-0 or something like that.
Which is
So
crazy. Which is
yeah, I think
absolutely freaking crazy. Jason Zoller
yeah.
won Delaware.
Okay.
The biggest thing was Daniele winning California, coming over from Italy. Does
Yep.
he have dual citizenship? That's what we want to know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to know too, did Johnny throw that? Just the ending. The ending
Johnny
cracks me up.
is the reason Daniele was there. Plus INDISC, but yeah, that was interesting. We'll get to the comments about Ohio, but I just wanted to touch, like, so Derek Price and Daniele had like a super awesome match. You guys got to go back and watch it if you haven't watched it. Actually, Neil texted me about it, and I was like, dude, I watched it live. So, and I just remember, like, it was what, game 6 or 7, and it was Walking Dead, and Derek had a huge comeback, and he just had to make one more shot, and he would have started Horde, I think. And
Yeah, I think that was game 7.
that was game 7. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he hit the post, and it went right in the out lane, and he started shaking it, and I'm like, don't tilt. And he didn't tilt, but his bonus was like just a hair shy of what Daniele's score was, and it was just so close. It was such a good match. It's a really good match to watch. I definitely recommend people going back and watch that.
Yeah, and I felt bad for him with the way that ended too, because it was funny. I remember right before that happened, he was on, I guess, the left flipper, and he had post pass over to the right.
Okay.
And so you knew that Horde was coming up, that he had pretty much qualified it.
Yeah.
But I thought in my head when he was over on the right side, I was like, oh my God, he's going to do the big brain strat that he realizes where his bonus is at. And he's just going to left orbit, over a rollover into the pops.
Yeah.
And then just finish it off there.
Okay.
Because I was almost positive he was there. That's why I was texting you.
Okay.
That Derek's making me nervous.
Yeah.
Because he stopped. And that's why I texted the group chat. I was like, Derek's making me awfully nervous here. Like he's going to go for this Horde shot. And sure as shit, post pass over. I'm like, please make this. Please make this. And I mean, because the reality is, if he hits that, we're all having a different conversation right now.
Right.
Right. It's just the full on butterfly effect because that shot happened or didn't happen. Then we get the hilarity of Johnny replacing me as a pinball meme, which I thank him for that. That's just, I couldn't believe it.
So so Johnny faced Daniele in the finals, and then on their last game, it was ball 2 Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny decided just to tap out Daniele, like, oh, you passed me, not realizing it was ball 2.
I remember seeing him come up, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then I see Carl, and this is the only time. Okay.
Carl's did he just concede?
I just see Carl just die inside on the commentator cam, and that's the only time I will like a commentator cam. If I could see that reaction, then it's fine. I felt so bad for him because I can't imagine. They happen to be the last state. Everybody's watching them. He's playing against a world-class player in finals of a huge state. And then he's like, nah, I'm good. 80 million on comp mode, Walking Dead, too much for me. I don't want to try.
Oh my God.
I felt bad for him. Yeah. All right, so Ohio. What happened in Ohio? Galvin won? I heard Galvin.
Yes. Game 7.
Defeated Gregory Kennedy, right?
Yep.
That's what I'd heard. Okay.
Yeah, which is huge. I mean, Galvin's a great player, but like Greg's in like top 15 or something like that.
Yeah, Gregory's solid.
Yeah.
Very solid.
Oh yeah. Like completely solid. But yeah, I mean that was amazing. You go back. I believe that was on Neo Pinball, which is
Hmm.
Northeast Ohio Pinball. You can go back and watch that.
Well,
Uh,
what's shocking to me, and the Ohio people in the chat, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I had heard
yeah,
that something like over the past 10 years, there's been 10 different winners. There hasn't been anybody to repeat at all, not just back to back years, but just a second
really.
win. That's what I heard. I don't know if that stat's true,
I gotta look it
but
up now.
I had heard something about it. Somebody texted me that.
Okay. Well, and Preston just said in the chat too, his road, Greg's road to the finals was playing Preston, and
Hmm.
then Carlos, then
Yeah.
John Del Zoppo, and then Galvin. So like that's a tough
that
day.
that might be one of the most difficult states in the entire country.
Yep.
I would think. Yeah, if you told me that group, I would think that's an IFBA.
Yeah.
Like fine. Like that's what I would think, right?
Right.
And I know California typically has a pretty tough road as well.
Right.
And of course, Wisconsin did for a couple of years, when all the District 82 huge
Yep.
tournaments were happening, lots of people going up there. And I
I
think
wouldn't say it
even
was easy this year, that's for sure. But
yeah, yeah.
Dave DeLuga won ours, and he had to get through. I believe, Mike Weinberg.
Hmm.
I forget who he played the first round, but let me actually look. So he played Adam Van Dijnhoven, who's a pretty good player in Wisconsin. Then he had to play Mike Weinberg. Then he had to play Neil, and then he had to play Cassidy to get the finals, and then he had to play
Hmm.
Nathan, who was the number one seed. So like that's a pretty tough day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was crazy when like we had that one finals where it was Escher won. I ended up playing him in the finals, and
Hmm.
Josh Sharp, Zach Sharp was there, Tim Sexton, Jason Wardrick, and then like a bunch of people from Wisconsin. It was
Was Bowden there that same
I
year?
don't think he was there that year. That
Okay. It's just
year,
the past 2 years he's been up
correct,
there. Okay.
correct. Yep. So yeah,
Gotcha.
it was crazy, very crazy.
Yeah,
I
it
got to look at
it
this
sounds like
Ohio.
yeah, their bracket's just insane seeing that. So okay, they all did confirm there's been 10 different
Yep.
champions. That's
Yep.
crazy. So 10 is accurate. Man, that's insane. Like I think that's just because like for instance, you look at Pennsylvania, right? And I don't know if Alexander did it again, but I know he had like 4 titles in a row. And
DJ won this year,
okay, so that streak ended. So I mean,
and that was
that
his
right
first.
there. Yeah, so that right there is pretty impressive because there's a lot of great players out in Pennsylvania. But
Absolutely.
I think that's just the most insane part that you have that many good players in Ohio and nobody's repeating. Like there's just so spread out. It's like, hey, here's our 16 seed in the super state. He won state 6 years ago. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah,
That's
and
just
a
insane.
lot of people in the chat are saying Ryan Eggers beat Stephen Bowden
Hmm.
in that round to knock Bowden out, who was our previous state champion. So I mean that
Yeah.
was crazy.
Well,
But
then that ended the streak of people from out of state winning Wisconsin
yes,
too, right?
yep,
There you go.
sure
Defended the home
did.
turf, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
So what do we got here? Dalton may have the longest streak. Georgia 5 years in a row. Yep, that sounds about right. Dalton's pretty tough down there.
yeah.
But I think this year he might have had his toughest road. I'd heard that he went to a game 7 in his final, and I'm not sure if he went to a game 7 before that either. So, but I know before I could have swore the first state tournament that Dalton won. I think Eric Stone was in that tournament also,
Adam
if I remember
Becker's
right.
won 5 in a row in Ontario, so I guess he'd be tied with Dalton. I'm kind of just looking for some state dominance here.
Mm,
Luke probably would have been a 5-time Minnesota champ, but he came to Wisconsin last year.
That's true. I
And
totally forgot about
he
that.
was the number 1 seed and he got knocked
There,
out. So like,
there's another player that played in Wisconsin
yeah,
last year,
yeah, it's
and
crazy.
he was in a Final Four at INDISC last year. So yeah, holy crap!
Stones won 4 times in a row.
In Florida,
Yep.
see, Cassidy has 3 times in a row.
Donovan
Yeah,
stopped the old man winning Colorado.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh,
Yeah.
so are results all in on IFBA right now?
Yeah, they should be
Or
for
partially?
most
Okay.
most of them. Most of them, not all of them.
I'm trying to think what else happened. Richie Terry, he repeated up in Oregon.
Yep.
And they showed, did you see that clip going around of, I don't know who was playing it on Viking? Do you know what I'm talking about? To where
Mm-mm.
he was doing like this bump. It was like a video game bump to where instead of tap passing or shatzing,
Uh-huh.
you just let the flipper down, just shove the machine forward like real quick or bump it and just makes the ball just bounce right over. Did you not see that clip at all?
No, if it works, it works.
No,
Gotta
I
take
was
what
glad
you
to
can
see it.
get.
I've tried it. I've only tried that before on a home pin after about 6 beers. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this. And Homeboy's doing that in a state tournament with a rig on him. A bang pass. Is that what we're officially calling it? A bang
A
pass. That
bang
actually makes
pass.
sense. Yeah, I like that. That was impressive. I was happy to see that. Like anything that somebody does something different or unique, I think that's awesome to see.
Yeah, Michigan's
But
prize pool was big. I think Washington's was the biggest, I want to say.
dude, their scene is insane.
Oh,
I
they
went
have
up
a
there
tournament
for
like every day there. Like
were you
you
up
think
there for Northwest? Did
no,
you go up there that
I
year
haven't
I
I
went
have
there?
not gone to Northwest yet. I want to though.
Tom
Maybe
Graff,
this
we got
year.
to go this year.
I
I
know.
loved it up there. Yeah, Jermaine put on a great tournament, but they had so many different venues up there. I went by the place that's up there called Icebox. I was like a kid in a candy store. It was fantastic. I mean, all the games played great. They even had like old school games in there. So in these classics, all played solid. Great beer, great venue, great location. Yeah, I
Hmm.
definitely encourage anybody if you have a chance to head up that way. Let's see, what do we
Yeah.
got here? Pretty good prize pool in Connecticut. A lot of new places hosting tournaments. Awesome, Electric Skater. Yeah, that's the big thing with IFBA this year. There was just an explosion of tournaments and brand new players, and I mean that's the one thing that's excellent. You're really seeing it start to take off, and I wonder if part of that's because of Insider Connected. Maybe I don't know if that's
Could be a
because
big part
we've
of it.
talked yeah, we've talked about it before. That's introducing a lot of people to these games more than what people realize. So I'm kind of curious if that's helping out a bit or what's really leading to this. Because it's like we hear about sales being down and all this and that, and that's whatever. But the fact that people are going on location
And
and
playing.
playing not just playing, but entering a tournament, right? So there's no telling how many new people are playing on location and not crossing over that threshold to play in a tournament. So that's kind of exciting right there. I mean, there's tons of people out there.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we got here. Thought the news said 250,000 for Delaware or
that
somewhere.
was classic. I
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, if
I
you could win $250,000 playing in state, man, I'm gonna do everything I can to get in that tournament.
right. Right. Yeah, that's you only won 3,400.
Only.
Right, only. Well, hey, you could go over to Costco, get yourself a Jurassic Park right now.
There you
Oh
go.
man.
No,
But yeah, it's exciting.
I think there's a lot, like, just with streaming,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of tournament streams. There's a lot of just talk about tournaments. Obviously, you can see the numbers on the IFPA website have grown,
Hmm.
and more tournaments, more people playing. You blame Carlos. Yep, yep, yeah.
Yeah,
Big.
there's a lot. Oh, I forgot to ask Richie, what was your game that you won
Nice.
on at state? Because we talked about you going back to back. I'm curious because there's probably, I bet it might have been Viking or something like that. Because Bob Caldwell told me that Richie just absolutely destroyed Viking, something like 1.8, 1.9 million. Stargazer this year. Okay,
But
nice. And
wasn't your pick.
was it at Icebox? I wonder if that tournament was at Icebox, Tom. I'm telling you, I love that venue. I would move to Seattle for that. And their hamburgers. Their hamburgers are pretty good up there too. I was shocked by that as well.
There you go.
And to be able to watch Carlos bowl again. That was fun as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I'd love
just
to
yeah,
make it out there. Two
there's
cards though. Whew, it's tough.
yeah.
It's hard enough doing one card.
Well, the thing is though, so I thought it would be difficult doing
Yeah.
2 cards, and it honestly wasn't. That's
Ooh.
where did Luke not tell you what he did? Luke Nahorniak?
He probably did, but I can't remember.
This is 2 years ago. He qualified with his last card and he played it in like 16 minutes.
I could totally see Luke doing that.
He literally sped run it, and I had no idea how he did it. I left the venue thinking, okay, everything's done. And Luke, I thought he was done qualifying because he was over in the classics area or high stakes, whatever. And the next morning, he's like, "Oh yeah, I qualified here." I'm like, "How did you get another card done?" And he just sped run it. But yeah,
So why is 2 cards easier than one? I don't get the rationale.
So I honestly don't know why, but I agree. It seemed easier, and I don't know why that is.
Well, yeah,
I
INDISC
honestly
is
don't know.
crazy though. I mean, you got what, like almost 400 people competing for 40 spots. I mean, and you have the world's elite players. I mean, there's good turnout at Northwest, but I mean, you have freaking everybody going to INDISC.
Yeah,
It's
well,
crazy.
I think, yeah, Preston points out you can hit 2 doubles instead of a homer. And yeah, I think that makes the most
2
sense.
decent cards.
Yeah, you can play a little bit more conservative.
Okay.
You don't, and that's the weird part. If you're only playing a single card, you have to make a choice, right? You pretty much got to go for like, you got to lay down the hammer the first couple of games, right? Pretty much, and kind of decide from there. Just, I don't know. The worst cards or the worst feeling I have, or maybe the most excitable feeling, I don't know, that I play is like where you have a very average first 3 games, and then you have a blow up 4th game. And then your 5th game, all you need to do is play average. And then you house ball your first ball and you're like, oh shit. Right?
Right.
That's like, yeah, that's the most nerve-wracking thing in the world when that happens. But yeah, INDISC, yeah, it has a way of just messing with your head as well. But I will say the best time to qualify for INDISC, in my opinion, is that Thursday in the open. Like while the target match play is going, because the lines are super short, you can test out machines quicker. You can kind of do some throwaway cards a little bit
And I'll
easier.
be stuck in target match play.
Are you in target match play?
Yep.
So you're just like, I'm just going to win a world championship with just one card. And
yeah. I mean, it's easy this year. The games are easy.
That's true. Especially
is Jim Belcito on crack? That is the question. Tom's
Jim's
winning all 4 tourneys.
Jim's cracking me up this year with his game picks. So it was so funny when we were the first 5 or 8 that got announced. I was talking to Raymond about it, and I was just kind of like, man, I don't know. I don't know about these games. It's like, it's going to get fine. It's going to get better. The good ones are all safe to the end. And it just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out.
How many?
I think there's a path, though.
Is there only one Bally Williams this year? I'm only seeing Circus Voltaire. No, Johnny Mnemonic. There's 2.
Yeah.
Because last year there was Flintstones T2. What else was there? There had to be one. There was no Congo. That was the year before.
Like, I seriously thought
Oh.
Cuphead was going to be in this year, the way things were going. Which is Judge Dredd. Yeah, Rich is
Elwyn's
right. Judge
unannounced
Dredd.
game.
It would have shocked me. It honestly wouldn't have. Here's a prototype from 20 years ago, or here's Raza. We found it in the old Deeproot auction when they sold everything off. We're going to put it out there now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so I kind of see what's going to happen. I'm kind of excited about this, but I'm kind of deathly afraid of this too. That once you think about it, what games do you think could potentially be in the final four? Like, what games would even be left? Because nobody's going to hold anything in the tank, right? And they still haven't put any rule in place, right, where your picks reset or anything, right?
So, Deadly Weapon, Bone Busters, Kingpin, and Galactic Tank Force.
Dude, we're going to see a GTF in America's Most Haunted in the final four.
Might.
If it lasts that long, we will see it.
Like, I've only touched a Kingpin once.
I don't think I've ever even seen a Kingpin in person.
Yeah, it was at Expo when they were doing the whole like we're gonna build Kingpin and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I played it there, but
just missing Baby Pac-Man. Yeah,
pretty much, Pat.
I think we're pretty close. We're pretty close there. Is there a link to the games list?
It's in Discord, so you have to be in the INDISC Discord to see it. But I'll read them off. So the open,
let's read them off.
Yeah, so the open games starts off with Teed Off, the Gottlieb Classic.
Should we have the chat vote if this is a good game or not a good game? I'm curious what other people think. Okay, what do you say, Tom? Teed Off, thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm kind of indifferent, honestly. I would probably put thumbs up.
I'll say thumbs up.
Okay.
For Teed Off, I'll say thumbs up for that. I think it's going to be interesting if they have the double or nothing on, and you're going to see a lot of people that are going for it, and a lot of people that could potentially be very pissed off, or you could see like Andy Bagwell clapping so hard that the whole place just echoes. I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah. No, Preston, no, we're not sitting the fence on this one. No fence sitting when we decide.
You got to say up or down.
Yep.
The next game is Cyclone. I could live with that.
I don't hate it, but I'm gonna say thumbs down.
Okay.
I don't want to play that. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody with like 2 thumbs way up?
Neil likes it.
Mike Moberg likes it.
Yeah.
Granted, it's probably not going to play like the one at District 82, but the next one is Guardians Pro. I would give that 2 thumbs up.
I think everybody's going to give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how's it going to be set up? Is it going to be set up to where you can time things out, or
are the magnets going to be on? Is it?
Yeah. Or is it going to be like one hadron and everything's set to hard?
Yeah, I bet you it's going to be difficult. Like, they're going to have to.
Does Jim know about the
timeout strategy? He's got to know, right? He's got to.
No, I don't know.
Carl would know.
I would think if you have Guardians of the Galaxy at a World Championship, it has to have lightning flippers on it, virtual locks, mode set to hard, so you can't start a mode off the plunge. You got to actually hit the scoop. No ball save, of course. And either I would say one hadron at most. So that way you could have some play of getting multipliers and stuff like that and cashing things in.
Sure.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement. We all like Guardians. Okay.
So so this is your card so far. Teed Off, Cyclone, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Next game is Stern Stars.
I will say up for purposes of people going for specials.
I'm going to say down just because I don't think I'd want to risk my card on it. Personally. 5 ball up. That's a good point. 5 ball up, but still stars. Now, granted, stars got me into classics the year we made it to finals, Travis. So,
Did you?
that could always swing to a thumbs up.
Well,
I know
stars
I know I did
also.
play X's and O's and it bit my ass.
Dude, yeah, stars destroyed me. I picked that in a tiebreaker. I think Richie was actually in that tiebreaker and won it, and there was one other person. And I thought I was going to play stars, but stars just played me. Like every shot I did not make it. Every save I could do, it's like, nope, you're not going to do this today.
Was it
That game can go sideways quick.
last year in classics where Elwyn like destroyed stars? Like,
Yeah.
was it last year? I
Yeah,
couldn't
I think
remember
that's
if it
when
was
Teolis was in his group
Yes,
and everything.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. The 5th game on your card then would be Labyrinth. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I will say thumbs up. I just learned how to play it roughly 2 hours ago. And
I'd say
actually,
thumbs up.
yeah, it has some interesting strategies to it. I've played maybe 4 games on it total, and one of those games I lost to Joel on. So, it's,
Now, granted, you had never seen a Labyrinth before in your life.
right,
That time.
right.
And Joel probably played it 15 times.
Joel had somebody coaching him, had the actual coder or the software guy coaching him, said, hit this shot, hit that shot.
Yep.
And to Joel's credit, after about 19 times, he hit the shot. So, yeah.
All right, so that's one card. Now we're gonna start over. So we're gonna go with the first game here, bow and arrow in the open. I think that's a thumbs up game.
I'll go ahead and say thumbs up.
Okay.
Just because you have to do something, it's repeatable, but you have to be skillful about it. So depending on how they have that set up.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think I saw enough of it at the last IFPA championship that the kids are gonna love it. The next game, Sega Jurassic Park Lost World.
I want to say down.
I was gonna say down as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be an interesting one, I think. Like, I don't even know what's the strategy on that game.
Basically the strategy is just try not to get your quarter ate by the game first off. Honestly, I remember I've played it several times and I don't even remember the rule set. I just remember thinking, what am I doing with my life right now? And I do remember it's one of the few games that I walked away from in the middle of a game.
It is a Borg. It's a Borg.
I just didn't like it.
I know.
I mean, I wanted to like it, but just much like the movie, I mean, the damn T-Rex was running around San Diego, so they completely like jumped the shark on that movie.
You don't hear a lot of people going, man, I really want to have a Jurassic Park Lost World in my collection.
No, not at all.
Speaking of games you probably don't want in your collection would be the next game, Escape from the Lost World. The classic Bally with a dinosaur on the back glass.
Yeah.
It has the shot across the playfield. There's this like little path that looks like, if you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, it's like the bridge where they're trying to get across to get the Grail. Yeah. That's what that shot is.
All right, Sterling's dad says up because we have one. All right,
so
we're going to get some intel here. Is Sterling going to pick this game?
He's got to now.
So if I'm in Sterling's group and I realize that means I've got to YouTube how to play Escape from Lost World and hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that game.
So Richie's saying up forever multi-ball. Did they raid Sterling's house for games? They might have. All right, so that's
next one?
Next one's Johnny Mnemonic.
I will say thumbs up on that.
I will also say thumbs up.
I get it's mostly a one-trick pony, but I enjoy watching world-class players just absolutely destroy that game.
Will the glove be disabled, or will Kelly ban maneuvers? Hey, Luke, thanks for the sub.
I kind of hope that they don't. Kaylee just gets up there and plays for like 6 hours. They just forget.
But yeah, they start the tournament and forget to disable it.
Right. No, I want to have it like, have the spinner just super juiced up. It's, it's got the oil on it. You're going. So like, I want to see like top tier players just destroy the game. Everybody has like 80 to 150 billion. That's what I want to see.
The glove was disabled in high stakes last year. I remember there were some like super nasty scores on that in high stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Tom, I
sickening
like
scores.
I put up like 73, 78, and I felt pretty good about that.
Billion, you're talking.
Oh yeah, billion. I think it was like 7th to 10th overall for top score. God. People are just putting up massive scores on it.
A game I'm actually excited about, but I know how it's going to be set up. Grand Lizard. I'm giving Grand Lizard a thumbs up.
I'll say a thumbs up, knowing that lower lock will probably be difficult to get to. But I'll say thumbs up for it. I'm here for the grind fest.
It's gonna have lightning flippers on every flipper. I'm pretty sure, anyways. At least it did at IFA. Jim is so evil.
Now, can you change any settings for the Magna saves or anything like that?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out.
I'm sure somebody in this chat knows if that can be reduced. If Johannes
save cracker like flippers up top, is that what it was?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Depends on the center feed.
Yes, they can. Okay. Richie knows his classics. So that means that they'll probably be turned down then. Right?
See.
So we're saying thumbs up. And it seems like everybody's kind of, are we kind of all split on this?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
okay,
Ron's in the chat. He's saying no way. He's got a thumbs down. Richie's got a thumbs down. Preston's got a thumbs down. Oh boy. What does Luke think?
Luke likes all pinball.
That is true.
Luke would be ready
if there's no tilt bob. All my thumbs are up. 10 of Luke's thumbs are up.
Jim Belcito could bring like one of those like Pirates of the Caribbean like little toys from Toys R Us there, and Luke would be happy to play it. He would be all in. So of course. Back Pinball, thank you so much for the raid.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome everybody coming in from Batcave Pinball. I'm assuming
we're breaking down INDISC.
Yeah, and I'm assume Eric Stone destroyed some game you were playing.
I think last time I checked in, he rolled Johnny Mnemonic. So it'll be a fun one. Johnny Mnemonic later on.
Next games look interesting and promising.
Okay, what's the next game on the list?
Next game is Xenon.
Xenon.
I like Xenon. I give that a thumbs up. Depending on how it plays, of course. But
I'm gonna say I usually like it for INDISC. I'm gonna say thumbs down. I'm gonna say thumbs down.
Depends on how it plays. All right. Next game, Circus Voltaire.
Oh, you did skip a game.
Did I?
Tom Graff, you totally did.
Oh, yeah, that's because I lost to Cassidy on it. Jaws Pro.
All right, Jaws Pro. Remember, this is a Jim Belcito setup Jaws Pro too, not straight out of the box. I'm going to say thumbs up still.
I'll say thumbs up.
Okay. If so, I think this might be like an 80-20. I think the vast majority of people will be happy to see Jaws.
I agree. Gotta have the newest L1 in the bank. So I'm sorry. So back to Circus Voltaire. I would give that one a thumbs up.
I would say yes. Thumbs up on that one. I think that's an interesting pick for somebody to put on a card, right? Because that's one of those games that you could either put up a massive game or it could go sideways so
Very
quickly.
true.
So that's a scary game. I almost feel like Circus Voltaire, that's not a mid-tier game either. Like it's one of those that you have to put early in your card, I would think, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Try like
that
your
just
first or
seems
second game and then okay, I got a good score. Let's go to something else.
I would
Next.
think,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, maybe is there anybody else in the chat? Would you go ahead? Would anybody in the chat be willing to put
Scared
Circus
of.
Voltaire as your game 4 or game 5 on a card? And you have a good card going. It's not a busted card yet. Because I know I wouldn't.
Bong,
I'm
bong,
not
bong.
I'm not that brave.
Sure.
Luke's like, sure.
Mike Moberg's
Luke
like,
is a wild man.
Next one is Deadly Weapon. Luke will play Stars Game 5.
Well, Luke will play stars for all 5 of his spots on a card.
Deadly Weapon. Another Gottlieb classic that I've never played.
All right, so I've never played this either, but I will say the more and more I've watched of it, the more and more I'm interested in it.
I agree.
So I'll say up for purposes of INDISC. I think it may be one of those sleeper picks.
Yep.
That everybody's like, oh, look at this game, and then it's worth $1,000 more at the beginning of February because it gets picked in a crucial point in finals. So
yep.
I think it'll be an interesting game.
The new Bad Girls, Deadly Weapon.
Then I don't want to play it then. I think it'll be fun though.
Will it give Travis another 00?
No. Johnny has replaced me as a pinball meme. I am safe now. It took me 2 years, but I'm officially safe.
Always tap out your opponents on ball 2.
Yeah.
Next game. Time Fantasy. Another pretty rare game.
I'm going to say
Acid Snail. Yep.
If it was in classics, I would say thumbs up. In main, I'm going to say thumbs down.
Okay.
And I'm going to say down specifically because of Snell time. I think watching people plunge over and over again and knowing that I'm probably going to play it and plunge over and over again, I'm going to play it, but I'm not going to enjoy playing it. I'm going to put it that way. But I know how to play. We had one in Oklahoma City for the longest time at Cactus Jack. So like, okay, well, I guess we'll try for a lot of Snell time.
I'm leaning more towards a down.
Yeah.
Least number of coils in any Williams game. Interesting.
I did not know that.
Ron is always full of knowledge. Next would be Sega Godzilla. I would give that a big thumbs up.
I'm going to say thumbs up for that. I think Sega Godzilla, even though it's very much just such a straightforward game, I think it's very much can you do the thing? And if you see somebody else do the thing, are you going to do the thing extra? Like, are you going to put more multi-balls, So I think that's going to be interesting to see. And that's one game I always love to watch top tier players play because it fascinates me to see how they're going to approach it. And a lot of risk reward there too, right? So that's going to be a fun one.
I agree with Richie. More interesting than Twister, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt.
This was kind of a shock to me. Bone Busters Incorporated.
I'm going to say, man, it's okay. This is very much my compared to what pick, right?
I'm pretty sure Neil Graff's going to give it a thumbs up. Best Gottlieb. There you go.
I have a tough time. If you would have said Bone Busters at the very beginning, I would say down. But seeing it compared to the other games right now, I would say up, right?
Yeah.
Just because, or you know, because we're comparing to like JP Lost World, Escape from the Lost World. Um, what else do we have already? Like Xenon, we talked about that earlier, and that could go either way. So I'm gonna say up, just because compared to what else is in the main bank right now. So I'm gonna go with that.
I'm gonna give it a down. I didn't really like the game when I played it.
How dare you, Tom Graff?
We'll see. Maybe it'll make my card. Who knows?
It probably will. That's what we should have did. If we would have planned this out correctly, we should have just said all the games we absolutely don't like, but we secretly like. So then we see our cards just filled with like 5 bozo.
I was just gonna say I want to do like a crappy 5 crappy game card just for fun, just to burn up $20.
You know what's going to end up happening, right? What's going to end up happening is that somebody's going to qualify because of that, right? That's what's going to happen.
I think so.
Am I on auto tune? No, I'm not. Here's why. I have my heaters are right here. And so that's what you hear. You hear the feedback. But here's the thing. It's freaking 2 degrees outside. So if I turn these off, I would not be here because my wife would be pissed. So I'm sorry, guys. It's like, that's what's going on right now. I apologize.
Chat donates and we pick the 5 games on Tom's first card. I mean, I guess I'd be down with that. Although I'm going to be stuck in classics for a day, hopefully and a half, because I want to make playoffs. Classics target match play. Hands up in chat. Anybody playing Classics target match play? I gotta think Albany Pinhead is. Maybe Minnesota Pinball. Mike Moberg is. Yep. Ron's had some good runs in Classics target match play.
He's a dangerous player
in
Classics.
Damn right. Preston, nah.
Preston's all in Maine.
I didn't do it last year, and I kind of felt like all hollow inside from not doing it. And then if I'm out of it, like after 10 rounds, I'm not going to play anymore anyway. So
you're just going to drop out of it.
Just drop out. Take my 128th place, and then go play Maine.
That's fair.
Let's see here. Bone Busters. After Bone Busters was Galactic Tank Force. Maybe not the game to sink American Pinball, but close to it.
So the player in me says down. I want to see what happens in me. I want to grab a beer, sit down, and watch what savage is queuing up on this game over and over again.
I think there's going to be...
I want to see that.
One of these games is going to be the new Rescue 911, right?
Well, you think not GTF? It won't be GTF that's doing that. No, because you got the targets right up the middle, right? And they'll look too inviting. You know, obviously it's
maybe the little pop-up thing's disabled. The post that comes up. Not that it helps you anyways, but they used it at the Beast. It lasted 2 hours. Yep.
Dang.
It's Jim's Galactic Tank Force. It'll last 5.
It'll last 5.
Remember last year at INDISC, it seemed like a lot of Batman Forever. Batman was forever down.
Yeah,
That
they
that
had some
game is
issues
that
before.
game is a hard game to like keep running. And then towards the end it was fine, but that scares me. Do you guys know how to play Galactic? I mean, I know the basics. Like I know how to start multi-ball, I know missions, I know hit the tank, destroy tanks, but other than that, no.
I played it twice to where I had some decent points, but I had no idea how I was getting it. Like I'll never forget the very first time I played it was at Texas Pinball Festival. Raymond Davidson was with me, and so was Joel, and we wanted to like hit the targets right, but we just kept getting air balls like jumping our flippers over and over again. We had no idea what was going on. So I don't know. All I know is you're supposed to like collect ice cream, collect a cow or something like that, right? I think. I
Sure.
I don't know. If somebody wants to put a tutorial out on GTF by Thursday, that would be awesome.
I know there's like one mode where you have to like you have to hit one of the shots, but it's a random shot. You don't know what it is, and it's like not worth anything. I don't know. Can you time?
No, I guess we'll
Yeah.
try for that mode. Yeah.
Can you time out modes on GTF?
We need to ask ZMAC. ZMAC would know.
ZMAC probably knows how to get 10 billion on it.
Do you think when ZMAC goes to the grocery store that he times out the cashier?
Yes. You can. Okay, nice.
Of course. Classic. All right, so I guess we're basically. Was anybody in the chat a thumbs up for GTF before we move on?
Just ZMAC.
Was ZMAC the only one? Like who's legit? Show yourself. Who is queuing up for GTF? I would like to meet this person.
Game
'Cause I'm going
5.
to watch that. GTF Game 5 on a card.
Yeah,
Luke,
there were a
count.
lot of downs.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Next
What's
one,
the next game, Tom?
Elton John, the JP Classic.
I'll say thumbs up.
Yeah.
For a card. I think Elton John is an interesting pick. I think there's some interesting meta to it that I can't wait to see because obviously there's a couple different ways that you could attack it. So I'm curious to see who does what on it. And I think we're going to find out pretty quick based off the scores, and especially since you could watch whoever play it. I think we're going to find out pretty quick. I'll be curious to see if one particular way of playing it wins out, and then you see everybody shift to trying to do the same thing, right? So I'm curious about that.
Could be. Only 2 games left.
It shoots well. So I think Elton John's a good one. I think that's a good pick.
All right, next one. Spooky's America's Most Haunted. Only 150 of them made, I believe. Nah, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
I know you are. I played one a lot. It was at Cactus Jack's for the longest time as well. They used to get all the spooky games. So I've had to play it a lot. I just remember thinking it was interesting at first, but then I had to play it so much.
You got sick of it.
And that damn ghost just annoyed me so much. It was like Forky on Toy Story 4. It was like I can't do it anymore. But I think America's Most Haunted, I honestly think it's going to be like in the middle. I think you're going to have people that just don't want to touch it. I think you're going to have people that are like, okay, this is going on my card every single time.
I did own one for a time. Actually, I don't mind the game. It's fine. Like out of a lot of the spookies, I'd prefer to play it to like
it's not
Dominoes.
Yeah, it's not a bad game.
Jetsons.
Like I everybody kept telling me I bet Jetsons is coming out. And I was like, oh.
Honestly, I would pick it. Like I don't mind Jetsons at all.
Well, yeah, because you just do like two things, right? Spinner and ramp, and that's pretty much it, right?
I'm from Wisconsin. I can find spookies everywhere. Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle is better. I agree. I agree it's a better game, but it's not in. It's not in. Actually, it's been in an INDISC before.
Mm-hmm.
Last
2020.
Yep. Last game in the open. Kingpin from Capcom. Very interesting. I just kind of wonder how many people have actually touched this game. Because
I've never played it.
I
I've
think
never
there's
played
only
it
like
once.
10 in existence or something like that.
Something like that.
I did play it at Expo when they were trying to get people to buy it, or they were going to remake it or whatever.
I will say up just to see new people playing it.
I'm going to say down just because of I don't really know the gameplay of it, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Maybe it becomes an up there. Good fishtail style fun. Hit the Lex, play the mode.
I could see it being something similar to that, to where it's like it's one of those that until people start playing it and they discover something about it, that maybe it's one of those types of games that ends up becoming an anchor on a lot of cards that you weren't even expecting it. So
Luke Kingpin is like fishtails. Guaranteed pick for Luke now. Yeah, Pinside says is 9 made and the value's 75 grand. Until they remake the game, and then it's worth 10. Yeah, same designer, Mark Ritchie, that's right.
no idea where it's coming from though.
So I mean it's a pretty interesting open bank. I still
So
think
what
we'll
5 games
still
you
see
going
the
with,
same
Tom?
players in it, but
What 5 games you going with? Have you decided?
I have not. I think it's gonna depend on the scores and things, but like just looking right now, I'd probably go Grand Lizard, Circus Voltaire, Sega Godzilla, America's Most Haunted, and boy, there's not a lot to pick from. Maybe Xenon. I'm just thinking safe games. Safe games.
Yeah,
For me,
that's close to
anyways.
mine. I think I'm gonna do Teed Off, uh, Johnny Mnemonic, Grand Lizard,
Since when do you
Godzilla,
have to choose?
maybe
Xenon
Bow
Game
and Arrow.
5?
I don't know.
I don't know if Xenon would be Game 5. I don't know. America's Most Haunted could be the anchor game. Isn't that crazy?
It's very possible. Just depends. I got a feeling the Sterns are going to be set up so difficult that I'm just not going to want to mess with it
They
and
usually
qualify for a
are.
card. Yeah.
They usually are.
I mean, I felt like a couple of years ago when they had Deadpool, Tron, and Rush, like I felt like that Deadpool wasn't set up that difficult. At least I thought it wasn't. I thought the Tron wasn't either. But last year, the Stranger Things, I just had all kinds of issues with it. I could not put up a score on that game to save my life. I don't know what it was about that. So it's like for me, it's hit and miss. Hmm. Let's see. So what about high stakes? Is any of you degens in the chat doing high stakes?
Come on, Z-Mac,
That's
you got to be doing it, right? Preston? Luke? Richie? Ron, no way.
That bank is so good too.
Yes, it is. You got Mystery Castle. Sad that will not be in the Open this year after like 15 times in a row.
How much is a high stakes entry? It is $500 or technically $100 for 5 cards.
Yep,
Like
and then it's
$100 per card.
and then it's 100 each additional card. Andy Bagwell. I'll do high stakes if you bankroll me, Murie.
I'll have to ask my boss on that.
Could you imagine this? I mean, it's got Game of Thrones Pro, Stern Jurassic Park, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mystery Castle, High Speed, and Beat the Clock.
That's a tough one. Is it top 8 going to finals or just top 4?
I don't know. I don't know because I'm not insane enough to play 500. Top 4. See that's just like that's an automatic no for me. Because out of all the players who are going to sign up for that, I know I'm not going to be in the top 4. If it was top 16, yeah, maybe.
So isn't there already a list of people?
I thought so, and it wasn't very steep. Let me bring up my. Oh, I'm actually typing Never Drains in. High stakes.
Top 8 pays though. Now, what place do you have to get to break even? That's the big question.
Top 8 pays? Really? I don't see where they have the names.
If I'm using Bagwell strat, I just need to stake like the top 6 players.
I need to eat
in
a
high
steak.
Stakes. That's what I need to do. You think it's possible to turn a profit if you did that, Tom? You take action in the 6 top players in high stakes?
No.
Is that a good investment?
No. Oh, here we go. So there's 16 players signed up. Look at the names. I mean,
Kaylee,
like I'm zooming in right now on Arvid, Kaylee, Bill Mason, Daniele, Escher, Peter Anderson, Timber, and Vigo. Like that, Andrew Foster. Just like right there, I'm just like, no. No thanks. Not for $500.
You know what we should have did, Tom?
What's that?
We should have invited Joel and entered him in that without telling him that's what he was doing.
Guaranteed last. Top 4 is weird. I mean, it's definitely going to keep the numbers down, and they'll guarantee that they're done by a certain time, I guess.
True. Now, aren't they doing Pin Clash, right? That's due.
Yeah.
This year during it.
What was that on? Was that on Jurassic Park?
I heard Jaws, but I don't have that confirmed.
Maybe it is Jaws. I thought I got an email yesterday from INDISC.
Okay, it is Jaws. Yep. Sterling's dad just confirmed it.
Okay.
So then it's $5 entry, and I guess how many to finals in that?
Top 4, I think.
Right. So the top 4 for that also?
So each entry is $5. You must use Insider Connected login to be added to the leaderboard so you don't forget to sign in. There is also an exclusive Pin Clash IC badge. I mean, for $5, I'll give an attempt. The games will be set to 1 ball with a guaranteed 2-minute game time. Guaranteed 2 minutes.
Oh, is it a 2-minute drill for the most points?
I guess. I don't know if that means like the ball saver's 2 minutes or or you're done in 2 minutes.
They might have it set to that timed
There'll
thing
be
that you can do on Stearns.
2 Stern Jaws machines dedicated for the side tournament. Top 4 scores at the end of qualifying will play head-to-head races during the open break between quarterfinals and semifinals. That'll be cool. I'm glad they're doing that.
Something different.
Yeah. I always like Pin Clash. It's always fun to watch. Interesting. Very interesting. They need volunteers, so
you're going to play in one of those, Tom?
One of the Pin Clashes?
Yep.
Or high stake? No. Yeah, I'll try 1 or 2 on Pin Clash. What the hell? It's only $5.
Sounds good.
Because I'm so good at Jaws.
Then I guess, well, the Classics Bank, that's like, there's always so many games there to go through, but it's all the good ones. Like Classics never has a bad bank because I mean they're classics, right? It's not like there's brand new classics coming out.
Listen to the goals for Pin Clash. So if you make it, the heads up portion: start, rescue, or search multi-ball, which basically you gotta get your beach goers. Collect an encounter jackpot. Collect a shark bounty. Collect 3 pieces of gear and 2-minute drill. 1 ball high stakes. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It sounds tough, actually, because it's going to be different. As weird as it is, playing in front of people doing Pin Clash would be a lot more nerve-wracking than it is doing Pin Clash from your basement. Because it was very easy to do it, right? You didn't think about the camera being on or anything like that. So
true.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, people screaming.
I think people will be more into the Pin Clash overall. I think it's pretty cool that they're doing that.
I agree.
Like that's one thing. If I go out early or don't qualify, I still want to stick around and see all that. I think that'd be pretty neat to see.
Seems like Stern killed that whole heads up Pin Clash type of deal.
Oh, the Shoopies?
The Shoopies?
Is that what it's called? Stern Heads Up Invitational?
Yeah.
Something. Pinball Invitational?
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe the Mando thing will come out someday. Maybe not.
Probably not.
I know that's the one that they filmed on. I have no clue what happened, but someday maybe it'll make the light of day. Let's see. Do we think people will focus classics this year, considering the wildest of the main list? I mean, they could. You never know. This year. It's a little bit unique. I've never seen a bank that's quite as nutty as this one. Maybe somebody else in the chat has seen it before, but in the past 5 or 6 years, I cannot recall a bank being this wild. Because I remember 2019 had like F-14 and Jurassic Park in it, Cactus Canyon. I think it had Starlight that year, if I'm remembering right, Sopranos. Or that might have been 2020. I'm thinking that was 2020. 2019 had Baywatch. What else was in there? Oh, they had that sick Monster Bash. You remember that, where everybody's getting less than 10 million on a Monster Bash? And that was Iron Maiden also. That Iron Maiden was set up like death. So I remember that in 2019. So yeah, I don't quite remember a main being like this.
Good luck on Jaws, boys. And Guardians.
They'll still figure it out. You know what's going to happen, Tom? Escher
they're going to put grease on the flippers.
They're going to put up like $2 billion on Guardians. We're all going to be like, oh, yeah, it's playable. We go up there and put up like $4 billion. Like, oh, shit.
Yep.
I know exactly what's going to happen.
Pretty much.
Every time. It's like, that's the biggest honey dick of tournament pinball right there, is when you see a young kid score and you think you can do it as well. And you go up there and it's a myth busted. Every time. Same
there's
song and dance.
there's two newish Sterns, I guess. Two Stern LCDs, we'll say. We'll consider Guardians, I guess, a newer Stern, even though it's like what? How old is Guardian?
2017.
That's old.
7 years. Yep.
Damn.
Yep. I was in my 30s back then.
The
That's
ladies,
how long ago that was.
the ladies' bank looks pretty good.
I'm jealous of the women's bank.
Listen to these games. Twister. Like, I could leave Twister off, but Paragon, TNA, Rush, Hoops, Lord of the Rings, Argosy, and Congo.
Yeah. I'm just going to be like watching Monica play over there, being like, yep, that looks like a bank right there. that looks like
That looks like
a lot of
fun. That just looks like fun to play.
Yep.
I know.
Where's their GTF? I guess that would be Twister. That's about as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess.
Pretty much.
Brutal. Did we talk about state finals already? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Talked about that at the very beginning. Oh, did we find a game that Luke doesn't like? You don't like Rush, Luke? Is that a thumbs down?
Add that to the open.
Right. Now, did you see Luke's Metallica game on Game 7?
Oh, I just thought of something. If ZMAC is the number 1 seed, Rush gets put in the open.
Oh, he could pull something. Oh, that's where we would pull something from, right? The women's bank or Classics
I would
bank? Or
think
is it both?
so. No, I think women's is open because it would be done. Oh.
That's true. We have a chance.
Unless he puts TNA in there, which everybody play for 20 hours. No, it's got to be Rush.
Yeah, he'll bring Rush. But, Tom, did you see Luke play Metallica?
Luke played Metallica?
For his final.
Yeah, I did see that. He crushed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to replace a game with a game from the same era, unfortunately.
No.
Well, that's easy. That's, yeah. It's Guardians is gone. Rush is in. Like, right? Where's GTF count as the same era?
I don't know. Can ZMAC do the billion strat on the game at INDISC that he did on his Twitch channel?
Spirit of Radio strat?
No. Like the when he got the billions on the third multi-ball on Jaws.
Oh.
Like, can that happen?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay.
After seeing him go full Terminator mode in the UK Open, it would not shock me one bit. Like, I think that's what I love about INDISC, because you always see somebody do something so unique, and then somebody you're not expecting, like, rises up, makes it through the grinder, because let's face facts, like, you do have to be highly skillful to make finals. And you have to be skillful to get through finals, but you also need a little luck on your side if you're not. I mean, obviously the top tier players, they can use a little luck here and there, but if you're like a mid-tier player like I am, it took a lot of luck to get through in 2023. Like, Elwin had to drag me kicking and screaming after what I did on Congo with my skill fire. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you got to have just the chips fall in the right place at times. So I'm excited to see that one player that breaks through this year, because there's always that one that just shows up, that you don't expect, that gets through either top 8 or, top 4. I think that's the coolest thing about it.
True.
There's got to be somebody, right?
Do we think Tim Sexton shows up?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was Final Four last year.
Is he on the game list? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I think
gonna
I
look.
have my dark horse picks this year, but I don't know if I want to say them out loud because I don't want to jinx them. But I got a few.
You can
It's
say
not.
me. It's fine.
I can say
I'm just
you.
kidding.
It's fine.
I'm just kidding. Let's see. Where are the names? Players. Let me do a little quick search here for Tim. Find on page.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't see sex listed, so
Not on the list.
it's not coming up.
All right, Tom, you want
Yes.
to hear my 4 dark horses?
Do it.
Okay. I apologize if you're in the chat and I'm jinxing you, but this is my 4 dark horses. Right? I think it's going to have a chance to push top 8. Maybe even further. Yeah, maybe even further. 4 dark horses. I'm going to go with Richie Terry.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Andy Bagwell.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sterling. And
Good
then
pick.
I'm going to go with, I'll say Preston.
Okay.
Preston's my 4th one.
I agree with those 4.
I think that's the 4 off the top of my head that I think I could see one of them breaking through this year. Because there's always that one that does. It always happens, and it just depends on, how the chips fall. So I could see that. And because it was just like a couple of years ago, I think it was Gabe, I can't remember his last name.
From California.
Yeah.
I know
he
who you're talking
made
about.
top 8. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, here's the thing, Preston. It's different. Okay. It's way different when it comes to not being able to play one-on-one. Because one-on-one, right, like shit can go sideways quick for somebody. You could just, everything just goes crap. But match play, some weird sorcery can happen.
Elk Grove Pinball said Jack Slovacek. Which,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he won Expo. That'd be my 5th one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
So there you go. We'll go with those 5. I'm going with those 5.
Let me look at
And that's without seeing the player list. There's probably a ton of other people. Because here's the reality when it comes to INDISC.
Mm-hmm.
There could be somebody that legit doesn't even qualify that probably could have made a long run or a deep run in it. It's always just stacked every single time. What's everybody else's dark horse? So we got Nick Wayna for 1. Let's see who else we have.
Mine is Escher Levkov. No, just kidding.
Right, he's washed. He didn't even win last year.
Yeah, he moved to Australia.
Yeah.
Well, Walt Wood is coming back. Thought he retired.
It could be any age. Any age. Because the list is deep of the players. So there's always somebody that has potential to rise up and just catch fire.
Don't say fire with South California.
They could catch wind.
I don't know if that's any better, but let's see.
I just hope there's no more earthquakes this year, Tom. That was scary.
That was scary.
I was using the bathroom on floor 10 at my hotel when that happened.
I was literally commentating and I looked at Carl and I'm like, was that an earthquake? And he's like, because I thought somebody like fell into me.
Yeah.
And hit my chair. And all of a sudden I was like, what the shit was that? That was weird.
All right, so it was. All right, so we got Nate Grant, Jack Revenue, both good players. Bob Matthews, Z-Mac.
How about a Brian O'Neill?
that's very possible. But Brian's won a couple of Stern Pro Circuit events, though, right?
Sure.
Let's see, who else we got? Johnny Monica. If he remembers, you get to play 3 balls. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say Nick would be a dark horse as well. I mean, you could, so the way the
Nick Wayne.
rankings work, you could still be, in theory, ranked in the top 50 and still be a dark horse from this. Because let's face facts, when you look at least in my opinion, when you look at who the elite of the elite are, I mean, it is a gap, right? It doesn't mean the players are unbeatable, but it's like, for instance, if I played ZMAC 1 versus 1 in 100, I might win maybe 5 because he just got bored during those 5 and forgot to come back for one of the games, right? There's just players that just have skill and knowledge that just go way beyond what your even some of your above average players would be.
How about Zach Parks?
That's possible. That's possible. I could see that. Is he going to be there this year?
Yep.
That would be cool. I mean, you could basically say anybody from Chicago, really.
True.
What about on the women? The women players that will be there. Anybody that you could think of
Leslie.
that could make a deep run. Yeah, I think El Rocco could make a deep run.
Is Carrie coming?
Carrie is not. She was thinking about it, but she's skipping out this year.
Kaylee Campbell.
Yeah. Trying to think of off the top of my head. Without that player list in front of me, it's hard to see. Yeah, Jane has been playing very well.
Yeah, I like
she killed it at or not.
Yeah, that's true.
At Cincinnati. Yeah.
Too many good players.
That's INDISC. So are you getting there tomorrow, Tom?
Getting there tomorrow around noon-ish. Noon, okay. 1-ish.
Who else is going to be there tomorrow? Are you playing in the tournament tomorrow night? Or are you just hanging out?
I am playing in the tournament tomorrow night.
Dang. I'll be cheering you on. I'll be there, but not playing. But I'll be there in spirit with my fire. I need a warm-up. Watching you play. That's what I enjoy doing. The day before, you always got to go to Game Lab, hang out, and see everybody.
Get a corn dog. Actually, get some food next door.
If the mood hits you right, yeah. Why not? Is anybody else going to be there tomorrow night? Like anybody in the chat going to Game Lab tomorrow evening, whether you're playing in the tournament or not.
Like Mobird?
Hey, Mike is. I know Luke isn't because Luke's already told me he didn't get there till Thursday.
Oh, Dalton. I know Dalton's going to be there, isn't he? Or is he not? He's got to win high stakes again.
True.
Outgrow Pinball will be there. Cool.
And that's a tournament that's put on by Neil McRae, right?
Yes.
Cool. All right, Stone will be there. Yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy it. It's just fun seeing everybody, right? It's because it's kind of weird. It's like you try to travel as much as you can during the year, and you kind of see people in different areas of the country, right? Like you'll see sometimes the same people at various events, but then everything's very much community based, right? To where you see the regional players around there that just kind of stick to that area. But then it feels like with INDISC, everybody's there, which is a lot of fun to see.
Stall ball and jive time last year. That's pretty cool.
Usually Teolis and I just play Guitar Hero. That's like the fun thing there. Way to do it. All right, Tom Graff.
What?
What do you think? What do you think, buddy? Do we have anything else to chat about with INDISC? Or do you think it's about time for our beauty sleep?
No. Probably
My
time.
My flight leaves at 7. Dalton, I will destroy you at Guitar Hero. Dalton, Guitar Hero came out when I was in college. All right. So there's two things. There's two things I can beat you young kids at. All right. I'll say this right now. It is Guitar Hero and it is NCAA football. Two things. Like
I don't even know if I could beat him on Pac-Man.
Oh my gosh, Tom, we had a rule. So we used to play Rock Band and Guitar Hero, right?
Yep.
And at my apartment, the rule was you could not play unless you took a shot, right? And if you didn't drink, that's okay. We wouldn't have you. But for the ones that did, you had to take a shot. And let me tell you, like maybe I was just facing drunk people all the time, but I never lost Guitar Hero. So you know, that's just how it is.
Don't play Travis and Guitar Hero. You're gonna pay for it.
Right. So let's see. What's the advice to first timers? You know,
don't play Escher or ZMAC for money. That's my first thought.
When it comes to
or Vigo or Arvid either.
Right. Yeah, everybody. When it comes to INDISC, I think the most important thing is play different games, find the games that you like, find the games that you're comfortable with, and just, you know, grind away, right? Like you might hit a wall, you might have a couple of bad games, just take a step back and then just keep playing because it's such a long weekend and the scores usually get higher than what you think they'll be at times, but then you'll always find a couple of games where the scores are lower than what you thought they would be. And you kind of like pick and choose from there. So that's kind of how I do it. Dalton, we already did, brother. We already did. We went through the full main bank, the full one. We did thumbs ups, thumbs down. Guitar Hero side tournament, yes. Spicy Rich, that's my only chance to be a world champion. So if we have a side tournament for Guitar Hero. All right, Preston's right. Go eat, don't skip meals. Yes,
that's very true.
That's very important as well.
Try to get as much rest as you can too.
Yeah, I think it's really good that if you schedule break
unless
time,
you're Carlos.
Yeah. You're calling my bluff. Dalton, I will be there. You know exactly where I'll be. I will be there tomorrow.
I am going to love watching this.
Oh, I'm all in. I haven't played Guitar Hero in a year. Okay, Tom. I am supposed to play catch with Teolis.
That doesn't sound good.
He wants me to throw a baseball to him.
Okay.
So I just told him 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to break your hand or my shoulder's going to hurt for the rest of the weekend. Maybe both. I don't know. But that's what he wants to do. So, yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I might have arthritis.
Stream it. There you go.
I'm going to stay up all night playing Guitar Hero now.
Is anybody streaming the tournament tomorrow? Like as
last year,
I think it was Aimless. Aimless Pinball did it last year.
I don't know if they are this year, but last year they did.
Yeah, that would be my guess too, Dalton. We'll see. Twippy snubbed?
All right. Do you want to answer any more questions, Tom? You got like an extra 3 minutes?
Sure, we can. Yeah, rapid fire questions. Travis and I will take them all.
Tom will answer whatever you have.
No, yes, maybe, sort of. Okay.
That works as well.
When's the goatee coming off? I don't know. I kind of like it. I've thought about shaving it off, though.
To what?
Going bald. Bald goatee.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're going to shave your whole head.
Best food at INDISC. Chiba Hut's really good. The pizza place at the lab is the food lab's pretty good. So is the chicken place. Actually, really everything in there is pretty good. I found a gem of a place last year. I'm not going to say what it is.
You're not going to give that one away?
Nope. Nobody knows where it is. Does Travis really make his wife shovel snow? Yes.
I don't make her do anything. She makes that choice.
Did you get an answer from Facebook about the logo? No, I did not. Facebook sucks.
Actually,
Bald
do. Let me
Tom.
find it real quick. Let me see. Here's, you probably won't be able to see this, but I did take a picture.
That's
She went
Monica
out.
shoveling.
Oh,
The
yeah, I was
neighbors.
indoors.
The neighbors.
She went to shovel the neighbors because we had to borrow a shovel. That was totally true. Not a bit. It actually did happen.
I did sign up to commentate. Did you, Travis?
I have not.
Okay.
I did get. Usually, I don't sign up, but I get suckered into it every single year.
You will.
So yeah, it happens. Through the blinds, I was in my own living room. It was my own wife. New shovel for her birthday, Neil. That's a great idea, and I'll let her know it was your idea as well. So I think we can share the pain together.
Joe Landis doesn't study game rules. He studies food places. He'll have suggestions. There you go. Did we invite Joel? No. This isn't Joel's bag. It's not his bag, baby.
I will say we do invite Joel
True.
to stuff, though. We tried to get him to play Expo. He didn't want to play Expo. We tried to get him to play at Clepen. He didn't want to do Clepen. We tried to get him to join a league around Indianapolis. He doesn't want to.
He's just an incredible pussy. What? What did I say?
I was going to say, I blame Preston. Preston's the one that's been over to his house to play. Preston can get him out.
Joel hates pinball.
All right, Tom. I got to get some beauty rest because evidently
we have early flights tomorrow.
Yeah, not only that, I have an epic matchup against Dalton tomorrow on Guitar Hero. Everybody better be there. I'm going to smoke him.
I might skip my match in the tournament just to watch it.
It's not even going to be close.
I have a feeling I'm going to put money on Dalton to win it, to be honest. I think Dalton. No. Here's what's going to happen. Dalton's going to do some like fancy stuff. He's going to like throw the guitar over his shoulder and you're just going to be like, damn.
Now, are we playing on easy, medium, or hard, Dalton? We didn't establish that. I'll find out tomorrow. I see that I'm probably, instead of pinball videos, expert. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Instead of pinball videos, I should be studying for INDISC. I'm going to study for Guitar Hero. We're going to play through the fire and flames.
Now I know Dalton's winning.
It's fine.
He challenges you on expert.
I can do it. It's fine.
Expert.
It's fine, Tom. It's fine. All right, Tom.
All right.
As always, you have the last word, chat. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you guys all at INDISC. I look forward to it.
Let's go INDISC. Have a good one, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you at INDISC. Watch. Make sure you tune into IE Pinball. Bye.